talking about all morning, this issue of Donald Trump and charges of racism. There are studies showing a significant portion of Trump's backers have what the Washington Post is calling racial anxieties. MSNBC's Jacob Soboroff has been looking into that. So, Jacob, what does that mean? What are you finding?
Hey, Steve. Yeah, so Donald Trump finds himself again accused of racism at a time when two new studies, one from Hamilton College and the other from the Pew Research Center, show racial resentment is the biggest driver of Donald Trump's campaign support. Check this out. The Pew study in particular indicates negative opinions of what they call newcomers, African Americans, Latinos, Asians, and Islam. Those are the biggest predictors of support for Donald Trump. For some, obviously, opinions like these are to be kept quiet, but for others, like William Johnson, you'll remember the self-proclaimed white nationalist who was briefly a Trump delegate to the Republican National Convention before the campaign asked him to resign, these beliefs are spoken about openly. The Trump campaign has disavowed Johnson. Last week, he sat down with me after appealing to the Trump campaign to become a volunteer at the Republican Convention for a look at why some people like him are emboldened by Donald Trump. Okay, so you've been in the news a lot.
Lately I have, yes.
And your political views are you are a white nationalist.
Yes, I'm a nationalist, and nationalism is coming popular right now. And Donald Trump is making it popular. We're battling the globalism that's been in place for the last 40, 50 years, and Donald Trump is leading the charge.
Donald Trump is making white nationalism popular.
He's making nationalism popular. I'm a white nationalist, but you would call him an American nationalist. And just like nationalism is becoming popular in the Philippines, in Egypt, and in Europe, he's making it popular here in the United States. The large influx of immigrants, primarily because of the concept of globalism, has destroyed Western civilization, and Donald Trump is battling that.
You were a Donald Trump delegate?
I was a delegate in good standing for 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
What happened was, I guess I slipped through the cracks, and they approved it, and then there was a lot of media coverage immediately. So they said, "Oh, Johnson, you are removed from the list." And so I said, fine.
You're not going to be now a delegate to the Republican Convention.
That is correct.
What is Donald Trump saying that is speaking to white nationalists? Is he saying things in language that may not be explicit, but he may be giving you guys an implicit signal?
No, he's explicit in his battling of globalism. Globalism is we're not going to be supporting globalism anymore, and we're supporting nationalism. The fact that he is politically incorrect, that he'll say what's on his mind, that endears him to many people, including people of my ilk. The fact that he wants to build a wall along the southern border, the fact that he wants to stop Muslim immigration, the fact that he wants to deport the illegal aliens, the fact that he wants to stop anchor babies.
So what do you hear when you hear a guy like Paul Manafort, his campaign consultants, sort of say, he might not go that far?
I don't think it matters, because what he is doing right now is so good for America that regardless of what he does once he's elected president, it's so good that we're pleased with what happened.
Steve, we asked the Trump campaign to comment on Johnson's request to attend the RNC as a volunteer, but they did not respond. It's also worth repeating that when Johnson was briefly on the Trump campaign's list of California RNC delegates, the campaign first blamed his inclusion on what they called a database error, but later they said he was, quote, rejected and removed from the campaign's list. You'll remember, Steve, earlier in the campaign, Donald Trump drew fire for retweeting white supremacists and his refusal to disavow David Duke. Whatever Donald Trump's personal beliefs are, and Chris Christie, of course, defended him against charges of racism yesterday, there are some people in this country, like William Johnson, who feel emboldened by Trump's rhetoric and candidacy. Steve?
Jacob, that's a very, very interesting interview there, I think, just shining a light on something that Donald Trump has definitely tapped into out there. Jacob, thanks for that report. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve.